Why are people so skeptical of chiropractic? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Because they should be. They absolutely fucking. It's a terrible business model. That's why I don't do it anymore. It's like this guy's. If he's good, you pay him nothing because he gets you better in one go. And if he's terrible, he makes bank and has a boat and like a Tesla. So it's just, yeah, it's backwards. Like it's. I don't want to say it's unregulated, but relatively speaking, unregulated. Next to maybe like a more conventional Western medical physician, like a medical doctor.
So from a financial standpoint, you can go in there and just absolutely crush it as a chiropractor if you wanted to do that, and you wanted to just say, hey, you got to see me, 3 times a week for the next several months, and you could string these people along and get X-rays and MRIs and really just load up your bank account kind of thing.
Oh, workers' comp, you could get into PI cases. You could be, like, chiropractic offers you the potential to be the biggest piece of shit on the planet. Like, no, it's terrible, man, because, I have to be on the other. I could almost consult for people like, hey, this guy sent me this treatment plan. What do you think? I'm like, let me stop you right there. I don't need to see it. He sent you a treatment plan? What is this, to finance his boat? Like, get out of here with this nonsense. So I think people are rightfully so to be skeptical because chiropractors as the whole on a profession have not earned the right to not be skeptical of them, right? Physical therapists are a little bit more tightly controlled as they work in a more synergistic relationship with conventional medicine, which obviously has their problems, but at least the regulation keeps the business antics in check, right? So it's hard for me. Like, it's a little different here in Canada, but when I was in the States, like, I used to live in Mountain View, which is over the hill from Santa Cruz. I was like, so they're trying to sell me on this crystals package. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes, man. Like, this is what I'm up against. And it's so hard to discern.
Those don't work.
Right? Like, no, all the amethyst in the world, unless you, never mind. Like, maybe freebase it or smoke it like somewhere. But like, so it's hard because people just see the title and they don't think to discern or like contextualize that there's a difference between one or the other. And, it's basically whatever your motivation is. You want to make money. It's like, dude, you can make, and I know guys in the Bay Area when I was there that were just pulling racks, like millions of dollars a year. And it's like, they honestly probably helped 0 people.
So if somebody walks into a chiropractor's office and they get hit with the like the subscription base, where it's like, hey, like, this is going to help, but if you pay all up front right now, we're really going to be able to help you. Is that like the ultimate red flag?
So it's funny. I did a YouTube video on this like way, way, way back in the day, and I actually got like death threats. One of them was like this old lady from Berkeley. I was like, "Bring it on, bitch! I'll give you my home address. Come at me," as they say. So I would say big, and this is literally, I don't think it's changed since I made the video like 5 years ago. It's sadly enough my most viewed video, which is kind of like, oh, for fuck's sakes, what am I doing here? Any Groupon, any first free, anything like that, that's the old bait and switch, right? That's just, hey, we're just here to spread the good word. It's like, listen, Jehovah's, like, get the fuck off my fucking we don't need this shit. You're walking right into it. Second would be, treatment plans, subscriptions. That's a big red flag. And third would be x-rays. And I'm going to put an asterisk next to that, because like, if you get in a car accident, sure, advanced imaging might be something you want to look into out of the gate, right? Like, if you just think you have whiplash or you think you're having a stroke, it's like, okay, go get an MRI, not necessarily an x-ray. But if you come in with just, and if you're under a certain age category, like if you're over the age of 55 or 60, there are different things where imaging might be necessitated. So I don't want to, dispense with that context. But if you're just a young lifter, right, and your back kind of hurts, you did Shako or Small Love or some Bulgarian shit, and you've just been training like, 8 days a week for 6 weeks a month for 14 months out of the year. It's like, all right, if a guy goes, hey, x-ray first, it's like, no, because it's kind of what I talked about earlier, right? Like the gold standard of structural assessment. It's like, dude, that just tells me this guy has no aptitude for creating a gold standard of functional assessment, right? Like, I'm looking at 3 guys here that guaranteed have some level of disc herniation without a fucking doubt. But it doesn't matter because we all function really well. We all move really well. We all know how to train. We all know how to lift, so we can operate without pain. This idea, this antiquated notion that like the structure dictates our function is going to tell us how we're in pain is so is so just absurd, right? Like it's just so old school. And so those would be my big things, like Groupon, sales, certificates, first free, whatever, treatment plans, and then like advanced imaging out of the gate. If you go to see a chiropractor and they drop one of those on you, put your hand over your wallet, don't turn backwards, keep your eye on the entire time, and just slowly back out of the office.